Coming up, PMH making history with the largest investment in the facility's history. We're there tonight. Imagine a new industry in the Bahamas, one that involves historic finds. The topic debated in Parliament, and we have the highlights. JetBlue begins direct service from Westchester, New York. We're at LPIA for the inaugural flight. And they're the brightest and best at Queens College. Today, they will put on display for the entire school to see. It's Tuesday, November 15th. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight starts right now.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Good to have you along this evening. This is the Bahamas Tonight National Report. I'm Shanique Miller. A major step forward in healthcare as the country's premier healthcare facility upgrades its services. Tomorrow, ground will be broken for the multi-million-dollar critical care block at the Princess Margaret Hospital. It's the single largest investment for PMH at a cost of $52 million. And when completed, the first-class healthcare facility will be equipped with the latest in technology. Cyan Thompson joins us live now from the groundbreaking site. Cyan, good evening.
Good evening, Shanique. Well, Wednesday is a great day for Bahamians around the country, as this groundbreaking signifies the beginning of a new day in healthcare in the Bahamas. Well, this evening, the workers are putting on the final touches for the groundbreaking ceremony tomorrow. And well, the $52+ million critical care block will expand the work of the Princess Margaret Hospital.
This new facility is going to allow us to have a state-of-the-art critical care block that will provide just what you would find in any top-rated hospital in North America, Canada, or the UK, and provide the best in quality care to the Bahamian people.
The Princess Margaret Hospital has been in existence for almost 60 years and has far outgrown itself. Wednesday's historical groundbreaking ceremony has been a long time in coming, but is expected to be a first-class center providing the best health care in the region. The new 75,000 square foot building will have several levels dedicated to various departments.
The first floor will house a new laboratory facility, a new medical and surgical supply, which is the distribution of the medical supplies to the wards, and a new central sterile supplies department that will support the operating theaters, which are directly above.
This new center will also house all the capital's public laboratories in one place.
The laboratory services will now be consolidated in one place. They're currently in 4 different locations, including off-site of the hospital, which lends for inefficiencies, delays in lab results, which also leads to delay in patient care. So this allows for greater efficiency all in one place. The second floor is new operating theaters. We presently have 3 theaters that were built over 60 years ago. And these theaters are built to modern hospital codes and will provide 6 theaters, state-of-the-art, and an endoscopy suite, 18 recovery bays, and comfortable staff lounges. It also allows us to provide virtual teaching because we'll have complete infrastructure to be able to provide video conferencing for any procedures being done in the emergency room. And then the top floor, which will connect to the present second floor of the ambulatory block, is going to be a brand new intensive care unit.
Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingraham, is expected to give the keynote address for tomorrow's groundbreaking ceremony. Meantime, some other good news: over 400 people will be employed during this construction phase process. Now, the critical care block is expected to be completed by the year 2013, and this will be the start of a new era in healthcare in the Bahamas. Back to you, Shanique.
Cyan, thank you very much. Of course, our cameras will be there tomorrow for the groundbreaking ceremony. Water salvaging. That was one of the topics debated in the House of Assembly last evening. Parliamentarians gave their stamp of approval to the Antiquities, Monuments and Museum Bill, where the moratorium on water salvaging will be lifted. Now, just in case you don't understand what all that means, Altavi's Munnings explains in this report.
The Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Amendment Bill 2011 will now allow the government to issue licenses to individuals or groups who desire to treasure hunt or locate historical artifacts in the Bahamian ocean bed. The moratorium was enforced back in 1999. Starting the debate was Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture and Member of Parliament for Golden Isles, Charles Maynard, who has garnered somewhat of a history lesson on the issue. Once enacted into law, an individual or group searching the seabed for artifacts will have to endure a 75-25% split of the wares with the government.
We want to ensure that there is the history, that is a different part of the history of the country is preserved. And the only way we could do it is if we manage it.
Minister Maynard explained when a water salvaging or recovery license is issued to an individual or group, they must be fully equipped with the adequate tools to conduct exploration and possess good character. Meanwhile, the members of Parliament for High Rock and Marco City, Kenneth Russell and Shivago Lang, explained why water salvaging or recovery needs to be regulated. The opposition's parliamentary team supports this new bill. Opposition leader and the Member of Parliament for Farm Road and Centerville, Perry Christie, recalled his former administration's discussions on this bill and believes the new University of the Bahamas should play a crucial role in educating Bahamians on the matter.
Those persons who are given licenses are conform to the requirements of the license, and that we are able to focus our attention on getting people of the world who come into our country, along with Bahamians who live in here, to appreciate how rich this journey was.
Leading off the opposition Progressive Liberal Party's debate on the Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Amendment Bill was the Member of Parliament for Englerston, Glenys Hannah Martin, who recommends the government reconsider the 75-25% fine, while former Tourism Minister and the Member of Parliament for West End and Bimini, Obi Wolshcombe, realized how the new bill will enhance our #1 industry. The bills passed in the House of Assembly will now move on to the Senate. Proceedings in the House of Assembly have been adjourned until Monday, November 28th at 10 a.m. Altaviz Munnings, ZNS News.
International carriers expressing confidence in the Bahamian economy by increasing airlift to the capital. Today, JetBlue made good on its promise of expanding its service. The relationship with the Bahamas and the airline is being described as a marriage made in heaven. Now, with some 28,000 seats available to Paradise via the service, the Bahamas stands to benefit economically from the increased bookings. Clint Watson has the story.
It's the first time Westchester Airport in White Plains, New York is conducting an international flight, and JetBlue's non-stop service to Nassau was chosen to record history. The success of landing this increased airlift comes by way of partnership between government, Nassau Airport Development Company, and the Nassau Paradise Island Promotional Board. JetBlue's Senior Vice President Marty St. George says they intend to be the biggest U.S. carrier to the Bahamas.
Nassau and the Bahamas are extremely important destination for JetBlue. As a leisure airline, as the biggest airline in Boston, the biggest domestic airline in New York, and Nassau is a very important destination, and why we're so happy to be adding the service today from Westchester County.
St. George says they're confident that they can fill the 100-seater aircraft. It will bring their total seats to the Bahamas to 28,000 monthly. And aside from promotional partnerships, location has everything to do with it.
Westchester County in New York, Fairfield County in Connecticut are sort of the more affluent counties around New York. And there's a very strong match between the customers who enjoy coming to the Bahamas and the customer base up there. The decision to start flying the service was actually based on looking at our current demand out of New York, out of JFK.
This will make the second nonstop flight out of New York. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation, Hyacinth Pratt, says government is delighted as this move is important to the growth of our tourism industry.
This flight I know is welcomed by the Bahamas for its economic benefits, and I feel it will be equally welcomed by New Yorkers wanting to escape the cold winters of the north.
And since 2004, when JetBlue first introduced its nonstop flight from New York to Nassau, we've seen the company increase its business here in the Bahamas. We now enjoy direct flights from U.S. destinations like Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Boston, and New York's JFK.
The Ministry of Tourism and Aviation values this highly successful relationship. And in welcoming this new service, we freely indicate our receptiveness to discussions about other initiatives from many other gateways.
Vice President of Marketing for NAD, Vernice Walkane, says they welcome the additional flight, and this speaks to the purpose behind building a new gateway. She says the partnership with the airport, government, and the promotional board has once again yielded fruit.
JetBlue has demonstrated its commitment to this destination, and as such, as we evolve as an airport, JetBlue will continue to grow with us, and clearly they've demonstrated that commitment. We're building for the future here at NAD. We're building an airport that will be able to stand us in extremely good stead for the foreseeable future.
Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Well, JetBlue isn't the only carrier making strides in the aviation industry. In fact, a local Bahamian carrier is also doing big things on the international scene, proving that Bahamians can provide the same level of service as the big boys, if not better. Today, Sky Bahamas announced the addition of a new U.S. route, and it comes just in time for the holidays. The new service provides direct flights from 3 locations in the Bahamas to West Palm Beach. Head of operations for the airline is Kenneth Romer.
We would have done our market research and would have discovered that market is significantly underserviced, okay, both by international and other domestic/international carriers. We were comfortable that the demand existed and that we were able to service that demand. And so we anticipate on December the 3rd to officially launch service into the West Palm market. And it's going to be an interesting launch because we are going to be the only airline that will actually offer service from Nassau, Freeport, and Abaco into West Palm.
Now, since beginning its Fort Lauderdale flight to Nassau, Abaco, and Freeport, Roma says they have done extremely well. He says it was a bold move for a domestic carrier to venture into international waters, but it's proving beneficial. Sky's flights run an 80 to 100% passenger load. Roma says they have had to rebrand their product to attract international visitors. And with a 97% on-time performance and their much talked about professionalism, service, he says, business has been good, so much so that they will add extra flights for the holidays.
We found it necessary to do a lot of marketing on the international side. Sky Bahamas right now is enjoying the reputation of being an outstanding brand when it comes to the international market. We've had very close affiliation with other international carriers. Persons who have flown perhaps on a JetBlue, on other carriers, saying, you know what, you guys have the same level of standard, and as a matter of fact, in many instances, you guys are superior when it comes to providing service. So right now, domestically, we've done very well. We're now going through a branding exercise on the international side.